It's winter 1723, the turn end in Empire Total War United Provinces. I'm doing the usual trick of showing you the relevant nations at the turn end. We're going through the Austrians now because they're in this part of Europe, and then we'll get to the Spanish, which is perhaps the most pertinent one really. If you've been keeping up with the previous videos, you'll notice that that we now own Madrid, that we've got France, that we've defeated a large Spanish army that was heading for Paris. We've also defeated a large Spanish army that was on its way to Guatemala in the Americas. We've also defeated a Maratha army both in Ceylon and also one that went over to America as well. So far we seem to be keeping on top of our game in terms of holding back the infantry of the, well, infantry and cavalry, the land forces of the various nations that are attacking us. Going back some time, we had issues with the French, of course, who continually attacked us, and we occupied a fort of theirs, in fact, near Paris, and they broke themselves like waves against the rocks of that fort there, until they were weak enough for us to be able to attack them. So we then took that area. We're using some of the Central European states, such as Württemberg, as a kind of buffer against the rest of the eastern side of Europe, the more aggressive side, like the Bavarians. So we're not really expanding that way. We're just again allowing them to attack us. Now this is the army that we had beaten in Guatemala. We'd sent an army out from Guatemala to go and attack them. They've gone round that army now, obviously heading towards Guatemala itself. These are the Spanish that were defeated in France. They're the ones who attacked Paris. And these are the Württembergers, again having another attack at us. I'm going to be very short about this battle. You've seen about, there must have been 5 or 6 attacks from the Württembergers. You'll notice if you look close up, they don't even have bayonets, and we've got socket bayonets, and so they don't really stand much of a chance. We're vastly outnumbered by them, mind you. They've managed to get through this gate here without even artillery. What's happened is some men have got down on the inside of the walls from up here, and I sent my cavalry in, and of course we've chased them, and we've gone through the gate. So we've actually opened the gate to something like 5 or 6 large infantry units that are all now trying to squeeze in there. I thought I'd include this, just a little bit of close-up action rather than the whole battle. You've seen the form up within fortresses before now, and you know how I fight these kind of battles. So I set my men up in a square at the bottom there, put chevaux de frise around them, and then move them up to the walls depending on where the enemy are attacking. I feel more secure when there's no artillery around, so that I can put the troops up on the walls. And then of course what I do is if anything gets through, I rush back whichever infantry units I can in order to defend the centre. They're the general results if you want to see them, but it didn't really seem much point in repeating a battle that I've shown so many times before. So that's the Württemberg attack fended off. No doubt they'll be back again. They're always taking opportunities to do so. I left the other nations to run through this time, as you'll notice. And here are the term end statistics. Turn end. I keep saying term, don't I? We've got ourselves an agent now. That's a spy or an assassin. We use him to see if we can get rid of the what do you call him really? I don't know, a priest I suppose. Yeah, a Catholic priest, yeah. He's continually trying to convert Flanders into Catholicism, and that's exactly the opposite of what we want to do. We want everywhere to become Protestant so that they'll like us and be happier with the Dutch regime. Okay, and they're basically the information screens. Just checking in Madrid there whether we can tax them and how much we can tax them by. I've wanted to promote a rebellion in here really, but they don't seem to be quite as rebellious as the French, so they seem to be sort of tinkering on the edge of, yes, you're not too bad, and so they sort of had strikes or be unhappy. I'm building 2 churches in there, of course, in Spain, and also building gradually getting up towards a pleasure garden. We've got a coaching house is the one that you start with. It'll take us a while to settle the area. Just having a quick look around just to see what's there. This is the Spanish force that attacked France. If you remember, I've been replenishing the troops in France while he's been wandering around damaging all my buildings. The ones that you can see on smoke there. On smoke. They're probably on fire, but there's smoke. There's no smoke without fire, they say, don't they? But anyway, the smoke indicates the fact that he's damaged the buildings. So, if you remember, when he was attacking me, I put limited number of forces in there because I didn't want him to go for a siege, and I used grenadiers, which are not the best in defending. You know, they're better at attacking places, particularly armies, close up with the grenades. So I can now bring those out and attack that Spanish force, and so we can clear them then out of France. The idea is we can then start earning some money from those industrial buildings without the worry that somebody's going to be blowing them up all the time. Very much a consolidation period, this, really. The intention will be, eventually, of course, to clear him out of France and clear him out of Guatemala, clear him out of Spain as well. And so we can take the whole of that coastline down there and start producing some decent sized ships. Our navy's now becoming quite old. Really, we're struggling to meet the superior foreign navies now. Anyway, very simple battle, very few people in his forces anyway. Those are the results. Main thing is that we put enough cavalry in there to be able to make sure that he didn't get away from the field, because obviously I didn't want any more damaged buildings. Bit of an issue now about what I do with this force. France seemed okay without them, you know, settled enough because I've got dragoons in there to allow that army to leave. So, bit of a dilemma really. Do I send them into Eastern Europe and defend, or even become more aggressive there, or do I send them down south to Madrid and then perhaps take Portugal and move on all the way down to Tangier? So need to work out what we can do with them, or simply put them back in Paris and hold Paris for a little bit longer, or make it, or I should say rather make it more secure. Like I said, it's a consolidation period, so we've taken over some areas that really are quite unhappy with us, and Alsace-Lorraine and Flanders still are not particularly happy. That's why I put a priest in there. So, and we've had those for a long time. Mexico seems to be the place that's most happy with us for some reason. I really don't know why that is. Guatemala's now settled. We can't tax it very well, but it is certainly still settled. This is a force that it was very touch and go whether we won this battle when they attacked us in Guatemala. In fact, we were lucky that we could even get there in time to defend against this Spanish force. We want to move further south from Guatemala. We really want to be approaching Andalusia, which is one of our objectives. We could do with wiping the Spanish out of the Americas. Okay, that was a close victory. I haven't shown the battle. Very simple battle. He has one army unit that he runs into a building. He keeps the others outside the building, so it's a piecemeal battle. He sends his cavalry in drips and drabs, so I have to deal with those as well. So it's a building assault, it's dealing with cavalry, and then it's the rest of his army. And they're such small units anyway, and it's a very bitty battle, really. So anyhow, I've not shown those two battles, of course. I'm trying to go now for showing battles that are different. It's going to take me a long time to get there, isn't it? We should be doing cadence marching soon, by the way. Again, we're repairing the buildings that he's been damaging so that we can improve our income in the future. That's the main reason for clearing out armies, or the remnants of invading armies, you know, so that we can start earning some cash again. Let's have a quick look around, see what's available. There's a fleet there. Oh my goodness me, look at that fleet. See what I mean about how we're falling behind? He's got such good quality ships there compared with ours. Even our much larger fleet would struggle against that, there's no doubt about it. Anyway, hope to see you on the next video. This is video 101, and I'm now practicing with HD, though not very successfully at the moment.